Hello there. My name is Ritchie Yorke. I'm a journalist and the author of a forthcoming biography on John Lennon. It's called Christ, You Know It Ain't Easy, John and Yoko's Battle for Peace. And it tells the story of John and Yoko's War is Over, If You Want It peace campaign. I believe that we're seeing at the 75-year mark the culmination of John's contributions to the world of popular culture. He made a great impact on the world with his songs, his thoughts, and indeed his feelings about peace and non-violence and making a better world for people. And John, of course, became a master at that, along with his partner Yoko. They fought a battle along the way to provide some sanity in the world, which seems to have lost its sanity. I was sitting in my office at the Globe and Mail newspaper in Toronto one sunny afternoon when I suddenly got a phone call from Derek Taylor, who of course was the publicist of the Beatles, and he asked me to come over to their hotel room. John Lennon was anxious to make a statement about peace and wanted to do it in a Canadian city. They wanted my advice on what city they should do it in. I urged them to use Montreal, being that John couldn't get into the United States at that point in time because of visa issues, and they asked me to provide some insights into where I thought would be a good place to do a bed-in type event, to follow up the Amsterdam bed-in that they'd done after they'd gotten married. I had the pleasure of attending the bed-in as John and Yoko's guest after I'd recommended they go to Montreal. A day or two later, I obtained the editor's permission to follow them down there. So off I went to Montreal and proceeded to hang around in the Queen Elizabeth Hotel and take notes and become part of it all, and actually end up being part of the recording of the great song that came out of that, Give Peace a Chance. And of course that changed my life immeasurably in that I was part of something that became a huge cultural event, and it's still part of the cultural outlook and the cultural feeling of peaceniks around the world. It was a media event staged by the Beatles, or by John Lennon and Yoko Ono, as part of the way they looked on this expression of publicizing things through street art, really. It was an example of a collective consciousness of John Lennon and his followers. I wrote this book now because I see the world around it, around me, around all of us, in a state where it was in much the same way in 1968 and 1969. Very troubled, very divisive, very violent. And I think that message that John and Yoko put out needs to be brought back to all of our attention. The question again is, give peace a chance. I'm Ritchie Yorke. I'm the author of a new book on John Lennon, Christ, You Know It Ain't Easy, John and Yoko's Battle for Peace. Thank you for watching.